Welcome back, folks. This is Tommy, Help with Gadgets, and I'm going to do a review of the Kizer October today. This is the full titanium version. I believe it has since been discontinued, but I was able to pick one up, and I want to tell you what I like about it and the things that I think could be improved. So let's get some measurements here. Alright, beginning with the blade length, it's about 3 inches. I think officially it's called 2.9 inches. And so take that into consideration if you're in an area that has a limit on blade length. Overall length is right at about 7 inches, it looks like. Alright, let's get that to the side. Whoops. And get the scales in here booted up and get a quick weight on this thing. Official weight says 4.71 ounces, and that's not what I'm getting. So I'm getting about 4.15 ounces, and so I may have copied the wrong weight down. Nonetheless, getting 4.15. Let's do some size comparisons. First off, let's start with a knife that I think is somewhat similar to this knife, and that would be the Vosteed Hedgehog. We'll go ahead and bring in the Asher Knives Spiro as well. Alright, get those two out of the way. Let's bring in the Berg Blades Sweeney and the Kizer Militaw. So you can see this is not a real long knife. Let's also bring in the 80-20.5. That's the Demco 80-20.5, as well as the Demco Shark Cub. Alright, let's see, what else do we have? This is the Vosteed Psyop. And let's bring in the Migron Morial. So again, you can see that a lot of these knives are somewhat larger than the Kizer October. Let's look at the Eutectic EFD, that's the Everyday Field Duty, and the Eutectic Binary. This one is soon to be released. Alright. Let's do the Kubi Tidius. And the American Blade Works Model 1. Let's bring in another Kizer, that would be the Kizer Sparrow and the QSP Penguin. Tell it's somewhat similar in length to the Penguin. Alright, let's do the North Arm Sky-High. And this would be the CJRB Pyrite. Alright, then last, but certainly not least, this is the MSI Ramlock, Microtech MSI, and another Kizer, and that would be the Kizer Cyberblade. And as you can tell, even though the October is not the longest of knives, it's still not as short as the Kizer Cyberblade. Alright, let's look at thickness profile. Let's look at it up against the American Blade Works Model 1. So you can see it's somewhat similar, but still thinner than the American Blade Works Model 1. This is the Demco Shark Cub. so you can tell that the Shark Cub is a little bit thinner. This is it up against the Sparrow. Sparrow's got a little more contouring, but is somewhat similar in thickness there. Also, you have the CJRB Pyrite, and let's check the Miguron Morial. It's going to be a little bit thinner than that Morial. Alright, and the one that I said it kind of looked like is the Vosted Hedgehog, and you see that they're similar on thickness. We'll check that one out on profile here in just a moment. And then there's the Kizer Militol, so somewhat similar there as well. Alright, let's take a look here at the kind of the profile, and as you can see, that's again somewhat similar. This is it against the Asher Knife Sparrow, and here is the, whoops, I got the wrong one out of the way. They're similar. That's the Kizer Militol, and this is the Demko Shark Cub. So just to kind of give you a profile of how it matches up, and there's the Miguron Morial. All right, let me get into some of my thoughts. What I like about the knife. It does have a 20 CV blade, as you can see written right about there. It is 20 CV, so good blade steel. Centering is good. The action is good. No blade play, no up and down, none of that stuff. You can use the flipper for deployment as well as reverse flick, as you saw me do. You can also, I think, well, not so easy. If you want to do a thumb launch of the blade, just be careful that you're not on this lock bar, and it will work, but again, not the easiest. I love the milling pattern here. That's one of the things that I really like about it. It is slim in pocket. It has almost a deep carry on the clip, but the clip is actually one of the things that I didn't like. When I got this clip, when I got the knife, the edges were very sharp. Just all of the edges seemed like they were not finished. I actually ended up taking this off and throwing it in a tumbler and letting it tumble for a while to soften some of those edges of the clip. One of the other things that I don't like about it, if you listen, I don't know if you can hear that noise, that kind of clicking noise, but this particular standoff here does not have a screw on either side, so it's simply sitting in the pockets that are milled out. I could probably take it apart, put something in there to keep it from moving, but that is something to be aware of if you do get one of these knives. Ergonomics are good. This choil here for your finger is to me spot on. I can get a full four-finger grip on the knife without any problem. Access to the lock bar is, as you can see, is awesome. The action is great. Almost fall shut action on, or more like shake shut, I guess you would say, on the stock bearings. There's a nice little brass pivot collar that looks nice. The fuller is really nice. You can use that for opening as well as the opening hole. So pretty much anywhere along this back edge over here works great for reverse flicking. and the flipper works well, but again, you have to make sure that you're not getting your finger on this lock bar, since it is a frame lock. Blade shape is great for pretty much most everyday carry cutting tasks. At least in my experience, you can place your finger here if you're doing some fine work. That's a flat edge that works really well. Same goes for, I mean, if you wanted to use it like this, if you were pushing through some material, the jimping is perfectly acceptable there. It locks in pretty good. There is a little bit of jimping there on the flipper tab. Again, you saw as I tried to flip the first time there, I had the lock bar, and you just have to be careful not to bind it up by touching that lock bar. Satin blade, which is not my favorite, but I know some folks do like it, and it does tend to look pretty good. So there you have it. That is the Kizer October, the titanium version. There are some other versions. I do not know if those have been discontinued as well, but I believe this one has been discontinued. So you may be able to find this particular knife for a discount or on the secondary. I appreciate you watching. Please hit that like button down there. Subscribe if you have not. Leave me a comment. I really appreciate those that leave comments, because I tend to learn things from those that leave comments as well. So appreciate it. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks.